Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Athletes Roundtable. You know, it's weird sitting in this seat. This is normally filled by Jordan. Big shoes to fill. And right here next to me, filling my seat.
Yeah, Will Quincy here. Yeah.
You know, Will's a great part of Athleisure right now. So thanks to Athleisure for sponsoring this podcast. And let's get right into it. So we are joined by
Cara, Donnelly.
Cara. Will and I both know you very well.
You do, yes.
Why is that?
I am a campus minister with you guys.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are. Campus ministry. Very, very fun times in the Montgomery house, I must say.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, would you mind introducing yourself? What grade you in, your hometown, perhaps your major?
Sure. Like I said, I'm Cara Donnelly. I am a junior. I'm from Long Island, and I'm a public relations major.
Public relations, a little media in there, you might say?
Per se, I just transferred into it. I just declared my major last semester, so.
I see. Now, what sport are you in?
I'm on the women's rowing team.
I could have guessed that from your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Should have. Women's rowing team. So, what do you do for the women's rowing team?
It's a very good question. I have a very unique position on the women's rowing team. I am the coxswain, so I am responsible for the safety of the vessel. I am the one who steers it, and I don't row, which I think trips up most people. It's kind of confusing.
How did you get into like the coxswain aspect of it? Were you always like, this is something I want to do, or were you like, did you find out about it and you're like, maybe I could be a rower, maybe I could be a coxswain?
So I found out about rowing when I was in 8th grade, and I was transferring to a Catholic school, and my uncle was like, you should think about joining the rowing team. So I joined my freshman year, and I joined as a rower. So I was a rower for all of my freshman year, and then my sophomore fall, my high school decided to bring back their rowing team. Kind of confusing. So I was on a club team, then went over to my actual high school's team once they brought it back. But from there, they needed a coxswain, and traditionally the coxswain is like the lightest individual in the boat, and I also had, some would say, a personality for it. So I just kind of went right into the role there, and ever since I've been a coxswain.
So when you say you had the personality for it, does that mean you were yelling at people? Is that what that means?
Very good question. No, I was definitely not. I am a little bit assertive. I like to lead, obviously being a campus minister with you guys. But that is kind of the role of a coxswain. You are the person leading the crew.
So you said earlier that you're in charge of the safety of the boat. Now, has there ever been a time that you did not ensure the safety of the boat that you can recall?
I can honestly say no. I've been in the sport for, I guess now 7 years, but back when I was in high school, I was rowing one day. And so this was not when I was a coxswain, but I was rowing the boat, and it's a quad, which doesn't have a coxswain in it, so it's just me. And I turned around and looked, and there was a boat coming straight for us. So, because I was the bow of the boat at the back, I got smacked with 4 oars directly to my back, which was not fun. But I guess you could say yes, there was, but not as a coxswain, no.
No fault of your own there.
No fault of mine. You could say that there was some fault.
Okay, but not as a coxswain.
Not as a coxswain, no. Long time ago, too. So that was freshman year of high school.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I've grown a lot since then and, changed, I guess.
Yeah. Mentally, just you're all there now.
Yes.
in a sense.
Some could say that.
What's like a daily schedule look like for you, especially with, I know rowing starting recently, you guys are doing lifts, early morning practices. Run us through like what a daily thing looks like for you.
So I wake up every morning at 4:58 a.m. And then I get down to our meeting spot because we all drive over to the boathouse together. Get there around 5:30, get to the boathouse, and prepare to launch by 6 a.m. So by 6 a.m., my boat needs to be in the water with the oars and with all 8 rowers. And then from there, we will practice for about a good 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes sometimes, depends on the day. But we'll just make loops around the Glen Island marina and in the lagoon there. But from there, we'll get off the water, put the boat away, wash it, then we'll do a boat meeting before we leave practice. So we'll talk about some highs and lows of the practice, what we can improve, what we have improved, things we're looking forward to. Like on on Sunday, we're racing this weekend. So we've been talking a lot about that in our boat meetings. Those usually last probably a good 5-10 minutes, and then we'll head out of practice. But as a coxswain, then my role is done for the day. If I was a rower, I would then have to go to lift, or I would have a secondary workout. So secondary workout could be like them going on the erg for an hour, or their lift for the day. So today's Thursday, so they have lift.
So as a college student, how do you survive waking up at 4:58 every morning, or 6 days out of the week?
It's a very good question. A lot of caffeine is my answer. I try not to drink too much, but I do sometimes drink about like 2 caffeinated beverages a day. But we're working on that, I try and balance everything I do, so sometimes sleep has to go to the sidebar for a little bit.
I was going to say 9 a.m. doing all that physical time at that point. I'm out from that point. Don't even put me in classes. I wouldn't make it through. That's rough, but I mean, you seem to manage it. And then also, I know you have to balance responsibilities of being a campus minister and all that on hand. Do you see any like relationship between, like you said, reflecting after practice, seeing what went good and what bad? Like you could relate that to like one of your service projects. Do you see any like correlation between the two, like positions as like a leader in your boat, as like a leader on campus?
Yes. I think a lot of it is about guiding the culture of wherever you are. So like as campus ministers, I'm sure you guys know that I like to joke around and keep it fun and interesting. And I think that the same could be said for rowing practice, But in terms of leading, I think that connecting my service project to it is just having that experience leading a group of girls before. And then with my service project with prison ministry, I will be leading a group of girls. So in the same sense, I guess they kind of connect, but not in any like other aspect. I'm not rowing for my service project, but yeah.
You could.
Yeah, that's the new thing we got to get set up now.
Oh, really?
Row for the cure?
Yeah, row for some
row for
donation.
Cancer or something.
Boxes of pasta. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, we could use some boxes
An
of
earth
pasta.
relay race.
Yeah, I mean,
These
we
are
do
ideas.
those,
These are
but
ideas. Well, but like with regular people.
Yep.
that was actually in the talks sometimes. I'm one of the team captains, and we talk a lot about.
I would completely embarrass myself going on that machine. I am fully aware that I am not a D1 athlete and should not act as if I can work out as a D1 athlete.
Those things are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did rowing for 1 year. My freshman year of high school, I did rowing. I was bow, and that was.
Yeah, you know Val.
I know Val.
You ever hit into anything?
I did not, no.
Oh.
But there was one time that we were in practice, and we had recently gotten a new coxswain for the other boat, and we were in the men's 4 with one, and then they had a girls' 8. So we were like rowing along the men's 4, just going along the Hudson River, and we like look over to our left, and we see the 8 boat going directly for the shore line. Like, I kid you not, first day on the job for the coxswain, and she's like going straight for the shore, and our coach was in the launch in the motorboat, and she was like, "I'll be right back." Just sped away, and we were just chilling there in the middle of the Hudson River, and yeah.
Happens sometimes.
I don't think they crashed though, but there was one
Impressive.
time that we were. I was talking about the safety of the boat earlier, but
Yeah.
I was in the coxswain. But when we were putting the boat into the water, because it's kind of difficult, you have to like reach over, whatnot. It was probably like middle of the year, so we should have been better. But we hit the fin on the boat, not on the dock. So we broke the fin off, and
No, you did not.
we
No, you did not.
Yeah, the bottom fin. Yep, we did. So it's in the
No.
Hudson somewhere. Yeah.
No.
So we broke the fin off, and we had to row a 15K that practice.
That's like your center of like balance, isn't it? Like
That's the only way that I can steer.
Yeah.
So I get very particular with the girls. I actually make them hold it to their hips until I can see the skeg or.
Okay. I just called it a fin. Yeah.
Yeah, fin.
Yeah.
And then I make them then put it over. So I'm pretty particular with them, but for good reason, because if you break it off, the boat really can't really
as
go.
you should be. That's your job. It's your job to look over the safety and to lead the boat. So
Yeah.
that makes
I also
sense.
can't have us crash into a different boat. So yeah.
That
Have
would
you ever
be-
fallen in?
Yes, I have. My freshman year or sophomore year of high school, when I was still rowing for my club team, I was put out in a single because I was one of the worst rowers on the team, and which makes sense now that I'm a coxswain. And so they put me on a single because they were taking out 8s. Unfortunately, that day though, it was very windy, and I flipped my single over. So I was there in the Oyster Bay on Long Island in my single in the water. But thankfully, you just figure it out. You know how to get right back in. And then I was also very scared, though, because unfortunately a whale was in that water a few days before. And so I was thinking, in my young, naive mind, what if the whale's right here, right now? So I was panicked. Fight or flight, kind of.
Quickly become friends with the whale.
I did not want to be friends with the whale, no.
I would have thought the same thing right now. I would have been, that's not you. I would have been like, there's a whale.
The whale's totally here. It's totally going to eat me.
It's stalking me.
Yeah. No, it was scary.
I think it's like scary, like not being able to like visually see what's around you in the water, like especially in waters in the East Coast and stuff. It's all very like murky and hard to look through. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you don't know how far the bottom is. You don't know what's lurking around. Like I would definitely be scared too in that situation.
Mm-hmm. I think it's thessaliophobia, I think is the name of the. It's like it's like fear of open water.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those pictures. They're pretty scary. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not afraid of it, but I might be a little after those pictures.
Yeah.
They're a little scary. But with rowing, let's say, so you're in the Oyster Bay, you said. Yes. You're in Oyster Bay, you're in a single by yourself. But as a coxswain, you're in charge of, obviously, all the women's rowers, or at least in your boat. Mm-hmm. Now, who is your least favorite rower? And tell me why it's Kaylee Dean.
Very good question. It is indeed Kaylee Dean. I will confirm it here on the podcast. No, it is not Kaylee Dean by any means. And I also do not have a least favorite rower. For those of you guys who don't know, Kaylee Dean is one of my best friends. So, yeah. It is not Kaylee Dean. And I don't have a least favorite.
All right, whatever you say.
We know the real truth.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, you said it here. You confirmed it. We'll just cut out.
We confirmed it off the podcast, though.
Yes. Well, okay. She's your least favorite rower, obviously.
Obviously.
What's your favorite part of rowing then? On the opposite side, not your favorite rower, just your favorite part.
It's a tough question. I guess I would say the connections that I've made through rowing. Obviously, rowing itself, but also it's such a big team sport. Like you can't row an 8 with one person. You need all 8 people there, 9 people including the coxswain. I think it's about the friendships that have formed too, because I rowed in high school, so now I go to these races and I see all my high school friends, and that's been a really, really good, foundation of rowing. I don't think that makes sense.
It makes sense enough.
Yeah, just the connections and the camaraderie in a sense that rowing provides.
It's like a family.
Absolutely, yeah. My best friends from high school were all on the rowing team, so then stayed connected with them. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, I think my favorite part is just being in the boat on race day, and you're rowing up to the start, and you're with all the other crews who are in your race, and so you launch your boat, you're paddling up. It could be about 2K, 4K, whatever it is that day, and whatever it is on the course. And you just see them, and it's okay, you're about to go down. And unfortunately, the coxswain has a microphone on at all times, and it's always projecting to the crew, and other crews can hear what you're saying. So it gets a little interesting sometimes up there when we've been waiting for 30 minutes to race, and we're all just amped up and looking at the people next to us who we're going to race.
I know you've talked about the intimidation factor before of that coxswain's hold. Is there a ritual that you go through to show off your intimidation to other people, or is there a type of thing that you feel you have to do as a coxswain?
A lot of it is docking procedure, I could say. If your boat is first to line up, your boat should be the first one to go, to put your boat in the water. So we're all in a line waiting to put our boats in the water to then row up to the start. And if another coxswain cut me off, I guess there's more of a procedure, and it's not really a ritual, but it's a respect thing for sure. But in terms of rituals, because my role when we're racing is literally just to speak to the crew, tell them how fast we're going, tell them what they can improve on so we can go faster, how long they have left in the race. I do like to drink a lot of water before, and I don't really like talking on the warm-up, just so that way I can save my voice, because it is just screaming for 8 minutes, whatever it is that day, but 8 minutes or around that, just my voice projecting.
So now, when you start, is there, since everyone's just yelling, all the coxswains are yelling, screaming, whatever at the start, do you have a different thing to like separate yourself from the others?
So last spring, I started trying this thing where the starting sequence is like maybe about 25 strokes that look the same no matter what race you're going to. And I started taking those silent because they know what the starting sequence is. Like, girls who've been doing this for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever. They know what it is. I know what it is. Everyone in the boat knows what it is. Why am I going to yell at them and make them frantic? Because as you can imagine, you're off the start. All those other crews are with you. You hear their coxswains yelling. I'm silent. And I feel like it almost provided like a stillness to the boat and allowed them to work out some kinks, because that is like the fastest wheeling row is like the high 20, in the beginning of a race. And so we'll go like 40 strokes per minute, which is crazy, some would say. But yeah, so I've just been trying to take it silent. I don't know if I'll continue that into the fall. It was just something I was trying out in the spring, but we have longer races this fall. We're racing on Sunday, so I guess we'll see. But yeah.
Honest question, because I don't know the answer, and I wanted to ask you. But since you're the coxswain and you're not rowing, at the beginning of a race, are you like crazy nervous, or are you not feeling anything? Because like the pressure is on you, but it's on the rowers. So like, do you feel nervous at all at the beginning of the race?
Definitely, and it depends on the race too. So like if I'm familiar with the course, like because now that I've been in it for like 7 years and there's only so many rivers that you can row on, I do get nervous if I've never been there before. I think I also get nervous for bigger races that I've been a part of, like the more that's on the line for the race. But I also really don't, I'd say that I get nervous if the conditions are bad too. So like if the wind is really, if the wind is a lot that day and we're going to like get off of our course, that's going to mess me up, because for races like the Head of the Charles, a lot of it is about how you can take the shortest line. So because it's a body of water, you can cut in the body water to make it the shortest way possible. And there's a way to do that, and a strategic way to do that. And so if the wind is too much, or if we are like not collected, or if there's some issues in the boat, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. So like if 2 rowers are off on one side, then my points go in a different way and we could crash into a boat. So I hope that answers it.
No, that answers the question for sure. I imagine that it would be kind of nerve-wracking, but I just wasn't sure. I wanted to ask that question.
I like to, before we race, take about a good 30 minutes to myself. So I'll just put in some music, and then I also like to go for a run. It depends on what course we're on, but if I can get out of like the team aspect for 30 minutes and just be by myself and find that like stillness, it allows me to go onto the water a lot more calm.
What genre or type of music? You got like a specific playlist you listening to before races, or?
I do. A lot of Kanye, which is
good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. And some other music in there. Actually, like the song "X Gon' Give It To You." Do you guys know that song?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good song.
I think that man's a deacon. I'm pretty sure.
Is he really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's
DMX.
so interesting.
You wouldn't think so.
Don't quote me on that.
No, you would not think that.
You would not think so based off the song, but I'm pretty sure. That's what my brother told me a long time ago. He could just be lying to me, but I'm pretty sure that he's a deacon.
Good for him.
I think we need to do some external research on that.
You think we could play that at music ministry?
Because play right now.
It's okay. He's a deacon.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
We'll play it at Hosp tonight.
Oh, good.
Come
Don't play it at
Hosp.
church this Sunday. I won't be there.
So
I'm racing.
Excuses is what I hear.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, fair.
It's a balance. Everything's a balance.
So yeah, speaking of balance, so I mean, you do so much with campus ministry, leading on campus activities like the bowls and holes last night.
Yes.
Yep.
And spending so much time in the boat and on the river. Do you have time for other hobbies? Is there other stuff you do? I know you mentioned you like running a lot. So like what are some other stuff you do outside of just rowing, campus ministry, and academics?
I'm also in a sorority. I'm a sister of Gamma Lambda Rho, so I spend some time with that too. I do other things at Iona, but those are my 3 main commitments, I think: rowing, campus ministry, and my sorority. But hobbies-wise, I do enjoy running rather. I do enjoy rowing. I really like to spend time with my friends, Neve, Kaylee, Emma, the
crew.
The crew, if you will, plus a lot more too, obviously. But I don't know if I really necessarily have time for hobbies at this point. I find it sometimes hard to balance like rest and also like my commitments, because when I'm resting, all I'm doing is thinking about how like I should be doing things that I need to be doing, but then it's like I'm not allowing myself time to rest if I'm only thinking about what I could be doing. So I've been balancing that, but I think it's getting there. It's just starting the new year. So
Now, are you a football fan?
You know me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a football fan.
You sure you're not a football fan?
I know that it would seem like I am, but I'm unfortunately not a football fan, and I have very limited knowledge, per se.
Well, thankfully, we were banking on your limited knowledge of football. So for the segment this week, you might have seen this trend on TikTok, but we will be asking Cara to look at the logos of NFL teams to try to figure out what the name of the team is based off the logo. So that's what you're going to be doing, Cara. I just wanted to let you know, and that's what we're going to be starting. So here on my phone,
so exciting.
I got a bunch of logos of all the different NFL teams, and you're just going to have to come up with the best place. And what do you think the name of it is? Some of them could be easy, some of them could be hard.
Yeah, so they, I mean, sports teams, they all have a location where they are, and then a name of it.
Oh, I gotta say location too.
So you gotta guess the location and the name of that team.
I'm gonna be so good at this.
Yeah. Before we start, could you name 3 NFL players for us?
Tom Brady, the one that the Milwaukee team just traded for.
The Milwaukee team, yep, that one.
The Bucks.
You mean Damian Lillard? Is
yes.
that
Yes. Yeah.
We're talking about the NBA now. No.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
Okay, that's good.
Three.
Yeah,
that's 3.
Yep.
3 retired players.
Less 4 if you're gonna count the Milwaukee.
The NBA player.
The NBA player.
Oh, that's the NBA player. Yeah. They're related.
So I mean, there is a Bucks team, but their full name isn't the Bucks.
Yeah.
But
And
the
it's not from
Milwaukee
Milwaukee.
Bucks, their full name is the Bucks. It's very confusing.
Yeah, that's the NBA.
Never gonna get it.
Yeah.
But
But that's.
I
what
was there with an athlete.
You were where with an athlete?
I was saying an athlete's name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying now.
This is the Miami Dolphins.
That was impressive.
That was a great start. I think we're off to a
one for
a hot
one
start here.
The Blue Jays.
Yep. From where?
From where?
Yeah.
Boise.
The
Boise Blue Jays.
I like that one.
I like that. I don't know if they have blue in that logo, but
It looks blue from here.
I mean, you can also pick up my phone.
yeah,
but
you can look at it closer.
as long as you show
it's
us which one
purple.
it is.
Okay.
It's purple.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Tigers. Cheetahs.
Cincinnati Tigers or Cheetahs.
Cheetahs.
The Cincinnati
Tigers / Cheetahs. Yeah.
The Tigers.
There we go.
Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
There we
Aren't they
go.
from Milwaukee? Or Wisconsin?
Yeah, they're from
Around
Wisconsin.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're from Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. The Rams.
All right.
Okay.
From where?
From where?
Where are the Rams from?
Rhode Island. No, I'm kidding. I know that there's no bad. I just don't know.
That would be a good name though.
Rhode Island Rams.
Right?
The Rhode Island.
I'm really
Rams.
sticking with the alliteration.
There's
Yeah.
most definitely a high school team called the
Rhode Island
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
The Patriots.
Oh, all right. From where?
From where?
Aren't they like New England? Don't they like? But I'd say Massachusetts if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New
New
England
England.
Patriots.
Yep. I think that's 3. I think.
That's
Actually, I think you've gotten them all so far.
yeah.
I think I might
they're
have
all
too,
100%.
actually.
Yeah.
The Lions.
Okay.
So maybe the first one was a cheetah. This one was the lion.
This is now the Lion.
Okay.
The Lions from Los Angeles.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Lions.
LA Lions.
I'm sticking with the alliteration.
Yeah, alliteration makes sense. Yeah.
Falcons.
From where? Name one city with an F.
Actually, isn't there a capital city with an F?
Yes. Frankfurt,
Yes. Where is that? I want to say that's in the.
Kentucky.
I
I don't know.
don't ask me.
Frankfurt, Kentucky. Shoot, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like it is an F.
It might be though. I know there
know.
is totally a capital city with an F.
Yeah, give us that one. Yeah, what's that one looking like?
Can I skip on any of these?
No,
or
no, there's no skip. Yeah.
The Tennessee Tees.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Tennessee Tees.
Mm-hmm. Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
That's another
You
one.
gotta give me some credit. Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna skip on that one.
We didn't. We said there was no skip. I'm sorry, Cara. You're not allowed to.
Horseshoe. Hawaii horseshoes.
Yes.
Horseshoes. I love it. That's a lot of traveling for that.
Uh-huh,
team,
yep, but they're dedicated.
They even have horses on Hawaii.
Yes,
Do they?
they must.
I don't.
Because why else would they be the Hawaii horseshoes then, Will?
I don't know if they do. I thought horses were brought from like middle like Europe.
Let's get a little history lesson here, real quick. You are correct. The horses were originally like 2 feet tall. From evolution tells us that horses were like two-ish feet tall, and they went across on Bering Strait. That's in Alaska, right? Bering Strait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the land bridge that used to be. Yeah. So they went across there from Europe, and they ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh yeah, like I've been there before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, over there, yeah.
Over there in Bering. Yeah.
Mhm, I've been there
Bering, Alaska.
so many times. Okay, so Hawaii horses, obviously.
Horseshoes or the horses?
Horseshoes.
Horseshoes. Okay.
I also need to clarify. We're about maybe halfway through. I don't know. I know I'm wrong on all of these. There's no way I'm right. There's no way there's even a football team in Hawaii.
No, you're like
you're
like on
pretty close
all
to
of
most
them.
of them.
Every single
Yeah.
one, basically.
I feel like you're making fun of me.
What do you see us
You heard it
laughing?
here first. At least, no, I'm kidding. I want to say Chiefs, but that's the wrong colors because they're red and orange or red and yellow.
You a big Taylor Swift fan?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Have you seen the media coverage?
Oh yeah, she's been at some games.
Yeah.
She's going to the Jets game this weekend. I heard.
She should be, because who are they playing? Take a guess.
Well, if she doesn't
Kansas
know,
City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the only reason I know that?
Why?
Is because somebody was talking about it in the car this morning when we were going to practice, and her name's Lorelai, and she's from Kansas, and she was like, my parents might come because it's a Kansas game.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Lorelai, you thought I was asleep in the car, but I was listening.
It is the talk currently. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've been on social media, but this whole Taylor Swift Travis Kelce relationship has been the main stage for all of this.
Everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything,
Everything
literally
is about
everything.
that,
Any
yeah.
reason to post any NFL thing and relate it to any female is being used right now.
Yep.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not really big on social media well, I guess I am kind of big on social media. But
Unfortunately
not Taylor
for Taylor Swift, the Jets will win this weekend.
I don't know
Over
about
the
that.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I think it
so
might
end the relationship, actually.
it's gonna be a repeat of the Bears game. I think, unfortunately.
I seem to remember the Jets beating the Bears last year, so I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking
well,
about,
I seem to also.
Anyways, Cara, keep going.
remember
Did you know that there's a
Bears-
Bears in
Bears
here?
not winning 15 games in a row now. So
The Steelers?
Perhaps. Nice. From where?
from where?
I don't know that.
But
They're
where
from,
are they from?
like Ohio, maybe?
Yeah.
Around there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Are they from Ohio?
very close.
Where? Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Really?
There you
Yeah.
The Pirates.
Okay, from where?
Pittsburgh. No kidding.
Is it Pittsburgh Pirates? You named a
Um,
different
Now we're doing
team.
baseball.
That's a different team. Yeah, it's baseball.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I'm running out of states.
I mean, you can go random countries too. I mean, like.
Countries.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they could be.
Yeah.
We'll go Texas Pirates.
Where's the alliteration?
Nope, I'm dropping the alliteration.
Were there ever pirates in Texas? I thought it was landlocked.
No.
No,
No.
Oh.
it's not.
Oh.
Let's bring
On
up
the
a map
mission
here.
trip, they go to a beach.
Don't put up a map. Don't put up a map.
Wait,
That's gonna
also
look
they were
so
like
bad.
horribly affected by a hurricane.
So we got the United States right here.
Yeah.
All right, you see, and then there's like Florida over here, then Texas, Mexico's over here. So this side of Texas.
Okay. All right.
It's
So that
connected to Mexico.
coastline,
This
the
is-
coastline
Cape
has pirates.
Coral,
I get that.
yeah.
Yep.
You know the
All right.
area.
So
We're all full of
that's the
lessons
Texas
today.
pirates. So yeah, that makes sense why there's so many teams in Texas because
Yeah.
they have so much different geography wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
The Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
DC.
Yep.
Okay, the Giants.
Okay, from where?
Jersey.
I don't know about that one.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
They said no.
yeah.
The Jets are in Jersey.
Yeah,
where
I
the
know.
Giants are in
is
Jersey.
anyone ever really in New York?
The Bills.
That's true. That they honestly would be the most New
Mhm.
York because they are in New York, just not the city.
Mm-hmm.
These are so hard. The Panthers. It's literally a panther. Like, I should know that they're the Panthers.
Can you name your animals? That's what
I
this
can
this
name my
segment
animals.
is. There's plenty of birds in the NFL, so
There are.
so as long as you can identify them, you've done pretty good so far with them.
Yeah.
The Panthers. I don't know where they're from.
Okay. Where are Panthers generally from?
I would go. Definitely not in. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say.
We don't know your
No,
thought
I
process
know.
here,
Yeah,
so
we're not in-
I'm
Yeah.
correcting myself before I say it, but I would go. Are Panthers in Africa?
Yes, probably.
I would go, yeah, because it's a pretty huge continent. Are there any Panthers in North America?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
There's Panthers and mountain lions?
Correct. Different geographical places.
I could imagine that. Actually, yes, you're so right. I totally. Wow, I'm just embarrassing myself.
So,
here.
so the Africa Panthers.
The Africa Panthers. Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That would make
yeah.
the most
You-
sense.
that was the most right one so far.
LA Lakers.
Yep. It's the
Mhm.
Lakers. Yeah.
Are they not the Lakers?
No, it's the
That's
Lakers.
a basketball team. So then it has to be something else.
I like the LA Lakers. I think
LA
that
Lakers
fits them.
seems to rhyme.
Yeah.
Who's on the LA
Bengals?
Lakers?
Bengals from where?
They're from like the South, I think. I'm gonna go Florida.
Florida Bengals. Okay.
Well, didn't they play last year? Oh, but was that because the Super Bowl was in Florida? Did they even play last year in the Super Bowl? I don't know.
I thought the Super Bowl was in Arizona.
Last year, I don't know where the Super Bowl was. They were
These are
in
so
the AFC Championship, right? They lost to the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they beat the Bills afterwards. All right, Cara, what's making you laugh over there? What's the next logo?
That's not making me laugh. Sorry. Something else was, but we could talk off the podcast.
Oh, yes, I know what you're referring to.
Marie. No, I think it might have been Emily, but saying that she got the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's going around.
Yeah, it'll be off the podcast.
Or was that just
yeah.
because you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to go off the podcast.
Yeah,
for that
it'll
one.
be Athletes or After Hours, perhaps, for that
Mhm.
one.
Yes, most certainly after hours.
So confused.
It's okay,
You're
it's
just gonna
okay.
seem so confused.
Okay,
How many
these
more-
are
you
so
don't have too
hard.
many left,
No,
right?
there's so many left.
Oh. Yeah, some of the logos are kind of hard.
Can I say the ones that I know?
Why don't you
it's
just
kind
keep
of
going in
funnier,
order? I
yeah.
kind of like it
Is
in
it
order.
the Jets?
Bingo.
Woo.
Is that in order? Was that the next one? I think. You skipped
Yeah,
a
that
couple.
was.
No, you skipped a couple. Let's bring that up a little bit.
These are a lot of birds. Okay, the W. Washington.
The Washington W's.
Washington Warrior.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know their name.
The
I'm gonna be
Eagles?
honest.
The Eagles are from. I know this. Philly.
Bam.
There you go.
You
like
know, the
five
only
for
reason I know
five.
that.
I will say you have nailed like 6, like
Yeah.
right on the head.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Considering I've really never watched a game.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah. It's all the talk you get.
Yeah.
It is.
Probably around me mostly.
No, I have a brother, and so
Yeah.
I've heard a few things.
Yeah.
I don't know this one, and I should. The Falcons. That's not a falcon, I don't think.
I mean, you did say the Falcons.
Yeah,
already.
you already have named a Falcons team. It would be a little bit weird for there to be 2 Falcon type teams, which there could be.
Perhaps.
There totally could be. They could be rivals even.
They might be actually.
But
These might be the. Well, I want you guys to cheat and tell me, but I don't know.
We can't.
I
choose,
know.
I could tell you it does have alliteration too.
Yeah, this one does have
Yes.
alliteration.
Maybe I should have brushed up on my bird types before. Because I also want to say maybe this one's a hawk, but I don't think so. I think I'm gonna stick with. I don't know.
We can assure you it's not a falcon,
Yeah.
or it's not the Falcons.
Is it a hawk?
Perhaps.
No, I thought. Isn't that's not the eagle? Yeah, no, it's not the eagle. The Honolulu Hawks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two Hawaii teams. Yeah. I think we
It's
gotta
amazing.
open up a
It
new
really
like,
is.
conference.
Athleisure Productions going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
From where?
Don't know. I'm gonna say
Great Plains. Think about some fields, some Broncos running in the open fields. Where
Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky Broncos. I
Yep.
love it.
That's a good guess.
This one I actually have no clue. It's a red circle.
Yeah, that one's a tough one because it says the name of it in it, so it's like it would usually say the team name in it, but so yeah.
The red circle's from Rhode Island.
The Rhode Island Red Circles.
Rhode Island Red Circles.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Bills from Buffalo.
Bam.
Another
Alliteration.
one. Another one.
That was
That's like 7 or 8 right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a team.
It is a team.
The Gold Crests from Georgia.
The Georgia Goldcrest.
Georgian Goldcrest. I love it. Sounds like
I
a
feel
food
like-
chain.
This one I should know.
That one is, imagine right in the middle. That'll
Yeah.
help you.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. That was a tough one because it also kind of, it's weird. I don't know
Takes
why they
away
didn't-
the whole. Yeah.
Another pirate.
There is
The third
another
Pirates?
pirate.
Where are these pirates from?
They're from. We'll go. California. There's a lot of water in California, a lot of coast.
Yeah.
So California Pirates.
California Pirates.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati Seas.
What would that C stand for, you think? If you were to take a guess.
Charisma.
The Cincinnati
Cincinnati
Charisma.
Charismas.
Yeah.
I said the Jets.
Yep, you said the Jets already.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
Just kidding. That's a NHL team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, impressive knowledge of other sports.
Thank you.
Knew about the whole Damian Lillard trade and everything.
know.
Didn't even know what sport it was.
But I knew that it was happening.
Yeah,
And it was Milwaukee's like biggest trade since the 1970s, right?
probably.
Yeah.
Since they last.
I mean, they had a top 5 player on their team, and they just traded for another top 10 player in the league. So I would say it's pretty big.
Yeah.
We should do an entire sports podcast with someone who doesn't know sports.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is
try
this
to-
podcast.
Yeah.
Try to talk.
Do you
to
know
them about it
the
the whole
only
time.
reason I know these things are because I hear people say them? Like this morning I heard somebody say that at practice, and I was like, huh, that's very interesting. And now I've just repeated that knowledge to you. I have no idea if it's true.
Locked in.
But I'm
Or you're
always
just-
paying attention.
You're just perhaps trusting other people too much, or not enough. Who's to say?
Who is to say?
I think the information says if the information's correct.
I think that's true information.
I also
probably.
think that I'm not going to go validate it for myself and make sure, verify it rather.
I think we should get you on ESPN later.
I would be
today
good there.
and just just to get you on there as an expert.
Sports show.
Yeah,
Yep.
like a sports expert analyst. We'll get
Yeah.
you on to talk about your opinion on the trade. Yeah.
Oh, I should.
You'll break it down for us, the importance of it, the pieces that
Yeah.
are
What
moving.
would you say? How would you say? What's the importance of the trade of Damian Lillard?
So because now they have that other good player,
Right.
I think that they have a shot now at the championship, you could say.
One could say
One
that, yeah.
One could
definitely
say that.
could say
Yeah.
that.
Well, they're on the up. That's for sure. Then they might win more games. The rest of the team isn't looking too good.
Yeah. What about the players that they traded away? Do you think that'll take away from them, or is the new player just as good as the others, or better?
Well, I believe he's better. I was reading through the Instagram comments of that post that I saw.
Yeah.
Just to learn more, because lifelong learner, you know, I'm trying to be. So I was learning that a lot of people were also unhappy with it, but I didn't know if those were like rival team fans commenting that they were upset that the Milwaukee Bucks were getting them.
I think it doesn't only help the Milwaukee Bucks, but I think this trade also helps. I don't know about Portland as much. I think Portland kind of, they have some contracts they have to look at. Some people they might need to flip with Drew
Oh, yeah,
Holiday
yeah,
and
absolutely.
DeAndre. But I think the Suns are really the people who walked out with one of the best deals out of the trade, getting Grayson Allen and Brooke Lopez and all these bench players.
Brooke Lopez, I didn't see that.
Yeah, all these bench players that they need that they don't have any depth. So I feel like
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about the Suns and Trailblazers, how this trade affects them?
So they had Devin Booker.
Who did?
The Suns.
Yep, correct. Yeah.
And so I think that because now they've lost Devin Booker.
Right. Yes.
Is that true?
Perhaps. Well, you're the expert here. You're telling us.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're having you on actually to break this down.
Yeah.
So because of that trade, now they're probably not going to win. They haven't won in a little bit. I've seen that it's been a struggle for them. There was some big anticipation regarding the last few playoff games, and then they let all their fans down, so that was pretty upsetting.
Yeah, especially at home when they got blown out by the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys know the only reason I know this information?
Why is that?
Again, I don't watch any sports because a podcast that I listen to, the girls who are on it are fans of the Suns. And
Because of Devin Booker?
No, they live in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
But also Kendall Jenner, Devin Booker, that whole thing. So.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it's not good for the Suns? Is what you're saying?
I'm telling you guys, it's not.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's a pretty solid analysis.
Yep. It's gonna really cost them.
Do you think the Heat missed out on this? Do you think they missed an opportunity?
The Miami Heat?
Yeah. Do you think Pat Riley is trouble finding sleep right now because he let this trade fall through his hands?
No, Pat Riley doesn't sweat on anything.
No.
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not.
That sounds like the Pat Riley I know.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know him personally? Because I do.
What's your relationship with
I would
Pat
like
Riley?
to know. I mean, I bet you have such a better relationship with him.
You have a personal... tell us how you got to know him.
So I was trying to get into basketball because I was, obviously exploring my many different paths in athletics.
Right.
And I thought maybe basketball was my calling. And so then we got on a phone call. He was running me through the game and trying to give me pointers, things like that. And then he's saying that maybe basketball wasn't for me. So it was kind of it was a tricky phone call. And then because he was looking at my film, from my basketball, and was like, "Ooh, maybe you should take a step back from this." So I left that phone call feeling devastated. But ever since, he's been a trusted friend.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
It's an amazing
It's a great
story.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really speaks to the Heat culture, I think.
It does, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It totally does.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. He's done a great job with them so far.
And that was probably around the time when LeBron was in Miami too, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I was thinking 2012.
2012?
No.
You would have
No.
been...
Okay.
9?
12? Oh, sorry, I lied. 9? I can't math. Yeah.
No, I would have been 8 for most of the year.
You weren't pursuing your basketball career at that point?
Well,
no.
I mean, that's why you're not in basketball.
Yeah.
It's because you weren't pursuing it at age 8/9.
You do have some points there.
It's kind of your own fault, I mean.
Well, I was just waiting to see if it was my calling. So I was trying
That's
to figure
fair.
that out. And then once I got on the phone call with him,
And Pat Riley was
Riley was like, "This isn't for you." And I was like, "Okay,
All right.
I think I can move on from the sport." And then I got into rowing. And
And it all comes full circle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, we've only got a couple more logos left, I think. So if you want to...
It's only one, actually.
Oh, perfect.
And then it's the thing at the bottom. This is the orange helmets from Oregon.
Oregon orange helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Orange helmets. I love it.
Well, thank you, Cara, for joining us for... that was actually fantastic, the NFL team logos. You might have nailed all of them, honestly.
Yeah. No, I think
Probably.
I mean, the ones you did nail, you really did get, and then the ones where you were iffy about, you made
At least
some
got
really
half
strong,
right. Yeah, all of them
strong
were at least
attempts
half
on them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the alliteration was really my key strategy.
I think
today.
it was a good strategy to stick to that. I think that
Yeah,
worked
Hawaii
well.
has 2 teams, which
Yep.
is really impressive for them.
Yeah.
The horses and the
Horseshoes?
horseshoes. Yep, I think.
The horseshoes and the something.
Oh, no, I think the
Well,
horseshoes
well-
and the Hawaii.
Honolulu horses? Is it
Who
horses?
knows?
no, there was
Thankfully-
another one.
Hawks? Was it
Yes,
Hawks?
yes.
Honolulu
Yes.
Hawks.
Yes.
That's right.
I looked at too many teams to remember what I called them.
Yeah.
And to any football fan, I'm very sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
feel like
well,
it's-
if we ever have another football segment, we'll make sure to call you up as the expert, or basketball for that matter.
You know how much I know about sports.
What time's your race on Sunday?
I believe 9:30, but typically I'm in the 8 boat, which is the biggest boat that we race and that any team races. And so a typical race schedule goes the very early morning, like 6 a.m. They'll put out the singles because it has the flattest water, because morning has the flattest water, and those tip over very easily. So singles and doubles, then quads, 4s, and 8s. So 8s are usually the last race, but for some reason we're in the morning this time. I don't know.
So you might still be able to catch a couple games.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
What time are they on?
Some of those 1 o'clock games. Maybe
Maybe
get a couple 4 o'clock ones.
I don't know about that, but I'll be watching.
Might be devastating Sunday then for you if you aren't able to watch football.
You know how much I love football.
Yeah, I mean, we could tell with that trivia. You aced it.
I'm dedicated, yeah. And you know how last Sunday I was trying to watch football with everybody,
Yeah, we all know. Well, thank you again for that segment. We got a couple more questions that I just want to wrap up the podcast with, get a little more serious.
Oh.
Cara, who are your inspirations?
Personally? Or like
anything you want.
In terms of rowing?
Anything you want.
I think that's a hard question to answer because I think I have a lot, like the people around me. But I think in terms of work ethic, I would say my mother. Yeah, she's.
Why?
I think it's impressive how much she handles, like her job. You know, a lot of things that she juggles, but how she almost deals with them as if like she's just so strong. It's really like things don't really like affect her in that. You know, like she could have a lot on her plate that day and like doesn't really bother her. And I think I'm trying to get to that point where in my life, if I have a busy day or, you know, I have a lot going on, that it just doesn't faze me at all, you know. I think that's a pretty good attitude to have towards life.
And do you have any in rowing?
A few. It's a little bit different as a coxswain. I'm sure that, like, if you had a rower on... Well, I think you have had a rower on here.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
2.
Yes, yeah. But if you had them, they would probably list one. But I think I look towards some coxswains who have gone up to the national level and to the Olympics, but not really per se because at the end of the day, we're all kind of doing the same thing. You know, I can't go faster during a race if my boat won't go faster. So, you know.
Hypothetically, if you attached a motor to the bottom of a boat and like nobody knew, you know,
I think
could you be the best guy?
I think they would know.
I think they would totally know.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think that they might have a feeling just because they like the officials inspect the boat before it goes in the water.
So you
gotta somehow put it on after the boat was in the water.
So you think I like stop rowing up to the start of the race and like find somebody halfway and be like, they'll be in like the bushes or something. I'll be like, take the motor, And how the motor attached to the boat that's made of like fiberglass?
Zip ties.
Yeah, zip ties. That's correct. Okay. Even though they probably inspect the boat after too.
They would also see it, and people would see me turning it on. And
these are just things that you don't need to concern yourself with. I think that it would work. You know.
I worry about it. Would we go in a straight line with the motor? You know.
Yeah.
Would it offset the boat? Absolutely.
Perhaps. So
maybe. I haven't tried it.
Now, if you were to cheat, what would be the best way to cheat?
Honestly?
Yeah.
At an official race, coxswains have to weigh in. And so they have to meet this minimum weight. And if you don't, you have to take like weights with you so you meet the minimum weight. So everyone has to be there. The best way to cheat would be to not bring that weight with you in the boat, but to say that you will. But sometimes the officials would call you after the race and ask you to show your weight. But I've never done that, so.
Okay. No, I was just wondering.
It does happen most of the time that they will call you. I think you can't really cheat in rowing because they have you, like people are sitting on the docks with their hands on your boat. So it's not like you could just like get a little bit like a head start. Not like I'm thinking of like track, how like you could be like a little bit closer to the line maybe than other people. Not that I'm not familiar with track, but in rowing you definitely can't. I don't think there's any other way, really.
Okay, I was just wondering. Yeah, just throwing it out there.
What's next for you? What are you looking forward to? What's your plan after school? What do you want to go into?
Oh, in my life?
Yeah. We're getting deep here. Yeah.
Thank you.
From cheating to going real deep. Just like the engine would if you put it on the boat, the motor, the engine, the motor would go real deep. So
it would totally offset us because you just randomly have this weight on one side of the boat.
But it also propel you forward. Anyways, yeah, we all know it would work, but
It would be very loud, and the other crews might notice that I have a motor.
I don't think anyone else would notice. I think we're all in agreement here, right?
It
that
would
it would work.
It would work.
Yeah, thank you,
work.
Will. Yeah. Anyways, answer the question, please, Cara. Moving on.
Where do I want to go in life? I'm hoping to graduate in May of 2025, so next May. I want to get into PR potentially, or maybe HR. I'm not really sure. Not that they're really interconnected, but I'm interested in both. And from there, I'm hoping to travel. I really enjoy traveling, so I want to get to a few more places. And yeah, just I guess live my life. I'm only 20, so I do have a lot of years ahead of me, hopefully. So I don't know if I really should determine where my life's going to go, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say that I could go one way, and it could go the exact opposite, so
Very true.
who knows? I think a lot of 20-year-olds don't know where their life's going to go. And a lot of people at our age, and that's what like college is about, kind of figuring it out.
Great quote to end it.
Yeah, definitely agree
Well,
with that.
Cara, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast.
Thanks for having
It
me.
was possibly the most fun podcast we've had so far.
Really?
Perhaps.
It was a
Yeah,
lot
You
of
hear
fun.
that, everybody else?
Even though, I mean, everyone, this is both of your first time, so I guess I would be the only one to know.
Well, I was saying everyone else is people who have been on the podcast before.
I understand. Yeah.
She
No.
was talking to our audience.
Yeah. I was with you. I was.
And the
saying-
other athletes.
It was a different
no,
thought.
I'm kidding.
I'm
Yeah.
calling them all out.
yeah. Rowing
Yeah.
is just kind of
I'm trying to
better.
start beef with the other athletes.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Well, Cara, thank you so much, and thank you again to everyone who's listening. I hope you enjoyed this show. It was very fun. Usually it's Jordan sitting on this side of me, but today was
Yep.
Will.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us, Will.
Yeah, it was a great time. I had a great time being on it. Can't wait to be on it next time.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Jordan and I have really crazy schedules, so we're switching on and off sometimes to see who's going to be on and whatnot. But we thank you every week for listening to us, and not as always, like I always say, but here's Will. This is Ryan, signing off.